Hello everybody, welcome to What About the Game. Today I'm going to be talking about Epic Dumpster Bear on the Wii U eShop. So there have been some really rather strangely named releases on the eShop recently. We reviewed games such as The Beggar's Ride and Grumpy Reaper, and now we have Epic Dumpster Bear. As you'd expect, you are a dumpster diving bear that is enraged at his deforested homeland, and so goes on a rampage to seek vengeance. Or something like that. It's ridiculous, intentionally and pleasingly so. Now let's not beat around the bush. Epic Dumpster Bear looks absolutely atrocious. While the premise of the game, the ongoing story and the gameplay aspects that I'll cover later are intentionally ridiculous, I'm not convinced about the graphics and the art style. If it is, then they've gone just a little bit too far. It looks like everything is a placeholder for the alpha build before they put in the real assets, but they kinda just forgot. It's possibly one of the worst looking games that I've ever played. But you know what they say about books and their covers, it might look like a terrible game, but it doesn't play like one. This might shock you, but Epic Dumpster Bear is actually a good game. Yes, good. Not decent, not average, good. It's a very simple 2D platformer, which are a dime a dozen these days on the eShop, but Epic Dumpster Bear does actually stand out as one of the better ones. Your bear plays just like your friendly plumber Mario. You run, you jump, and that's about it really. Sometimes you're required to do a fancy wall jump and even pick up weaponized power-ups, but that's about as far as it goes. Ambition certainly wasn't on the developer's priority list, but it didn't need to be, as Epic Dumpster Bear does the simple things really well. I will say that Dumpster Bear controls a little too slippery sometimes when running, which occasionally led to my downfall, but apart from that, it's pretty spot on, despite its looks. It provides a solid, fun and challenging experience that I enjoyed. In the game's generous 70 levels, you can collect normal coins, 3 red coins, and receive a juicy salmon at the goal. Not all of the levels are part of the main game. In fact, a decent chunk of them are optional, found by either very secretive hidden exits or bought using the coins that you've collected. There's a lot of content in Epic Dumpster Bear and I think you'll enjoy it. As stated, the game can be quite challenging, but very often in a fair way. I didn't find any cheap deaths. If I died, it was usually my own lack of skill. The difficulty curve is nicely sloped too, as each of the themed worlds gradually gets more challenging. The jumps become tighter and the enemies become fiercer. While the changing enemies are often just palette swaps of the ones in previous worlds, they always add an extra threat to them. The startled cow in World 1 became a charging wolf in World 2. By World 3, it's a face-eating lion that is much more aggressive. What adds to the difficulty is your health. You can only take 2 hits before you die, and there are no upgrades to improve this. At the halfway checkpoint of the stage, you do have the chance to recover 1 heart piece, and that's your only hope for survival really. It's a little stingy for sure, and another health drop could have possibly made it better. I think aside from the solid gameplay, the game's charm won me over. I grew to like the awfulness of the art style, the silly premise and the story, and not to mention I couldn't help but crack a smile to see the bear rail grinding. I haven't even mentioned the best part yet. The ending of each stage is just magical. Just as the stage reaches its climax, Dumpster Bear is led up to a higher ground, only to then attempt to belly flop onto a target below. The first time I did that, the game instantly made sense to me. There is a little bit of creativity in here. Some of the bonus stages have really nice ideas in their setup. They use the gamepad to manipulate sections of the stage. On the gamepad screen there are 4 colours, red, green, blue and yellow. Pressing one of these will move something in the level of that colour. Maybe a platform that is red will move or disappear if you press the red colour on the gamepad. This is when the game stops being pure platformer and becomes a light puzzle platformer instead. The game sounds fine, there are some weird sound effects thrown in, I mean would you expect any less, and the soundtrack, while is a little generic, is varied and there are plenty of tracks for different stages. I'm willing to bet that the art style and the graphics are enough to put off even the most enthusiastic of eShop gamers. It's mind blowing how bad it looks, but I suggest doing your best to throw away that prejudice and give Epic Dumpster Bear a try, if you're into 2D platformers. Yes, it's simple, but it's actually really solidly made and will give you plenty of content with a nice fair challenge. Okay guys, if you've enjoyed this video then be sure to like and subscribe, that will really help me out. You can read the full review of Epic Dumpster Bear at whataboutthegame.com, that will help me out so much, and you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you want to. The links are below. Thanks guys, bye bye.